Hey everyone, how are you guys? Whew, welcome back to another video. This was a video I knew I wanted to do, especially since I got such an amazing response from my first video, letting you guys know what has been going on with my life lately. And I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that watched, that took time to listen, that wished me well, and you know, all the love, support, kind words, encouraging words. Like, it means so much to me after all of these years on YouTube. I know a lot of you are still around from when I first started making YouTube videos over what, almost 15 years ago. So I knew it was something I wanted to share with you, and I hope this connects with someone, and I hope these videos specifically help someone. So yeah, I just thank you guys so much. It means the world, and I knew I wanted to give you guys an update. And I am 2 weeks post-op exactly as I'm filming this video, and I'm hoping to get this up tonight. If not tomorrow, it will definitely be up. So yeah, let's get Alright, if you guys are stumbling upon this video and you have no idea what I'm talking about, I highly recommend you guys go check my first video talking about what's been going on with me medically, the surgery, how I was feeling. It was a very emotional video for me. I cried quite a bit. So again, I thank you guys so much for just giving me grace in that moment. Being 2 weeks post-op, I feel amazing, and I don't think I'll get emotional in this video. Maybe I will, I don't know. But definitely go check out that video. But just in a nutshell, if you guys are new to my videos and just me generally, I'm 34 years old, and I recently had to go to the emergency room and they found a mass, and I ended up having surgery 2 weeks ago to remove the mass, but also I had to get a hysterectomy in order to remove that mass. Again, all the details are in that first video about how I was feeling, the timeline of everything. Like, I broke it down for you guys, so definitely go check that out. But today I wrote it down, I wrote some notes down, but today I'm going to talk to you guys about my surgery day, like before the surgery, my boyfriend's experience during the surgery. Sorry, my dogs are, oh, he's laying right there. Poor guy. He has a donut on because he had eye surgery a week before I had my surgery. So it was just, it's been a crazy past month, and yeah, past few months. The past 2 months have been crazy. But yeah, he's behind me laying on the floor with a donut. Anyway, and he has his harness on because he has diabetes. It's a whole thing. He has diabetes, he had surgery. It was like, I'm telling you guys, my boyfriend and I have been overwhelmed for the past few months, but we are so grateful to be on the other side. Him, the doggy, and I are both recovering well. So anyway, I'm going to talk to you guys about the surgery day, before the surgery, my boyfriend's experience during my surgery. Obviously, I was asleep under anesthesia. And then I'm going to talk to you guys about waking up from surgery, and then the one night I had to spend in surgery, and then also like what they did, what they removed, what they didn't remove, and all this and that. So a lot of details will be in this video. It's probably going to be a long video, so grab a drink, grab a snack, and we'll get into it. If you guys are wanting a video about my recovery and my experience during my recovery, I can do that video if you want to hear that video. I just have so much to talk about today. I don't have time to fit it in this video. So today is going to be all about the surgery day and my experience, and then the day pretty much after. Okay, I mentioned in my previous video that my surgery was on Tuesday, July 17th, exactly 2 weeks ago today. And that morning of surgery, I was feeling pretty good. Now, I did have to do a bowel prep the night before, the day before, so I had to fast and do only liquids, and I had to, you know, all the fun bowel prep stuff. If you've ever had a colonoscopy, it was basically that. And I had just had a colonoscopy 2 weeks prior to surgery, so I had to do it all over again. But I did my bowel prep, so in the morning I was just pretty much on liquids and then on nothing. I was super hungry, but obviously before surgery you cannot eat anything, so I was thankful because my surgery was the first surgery and the only surgery of the day for my surgeon. So I had to be at the hospital, and if you guys are curious, I went to the University of Pennsylvania Hospital. Penn Medicine is one of the best hospitals in the like Philadelphia, New Jersey, like South Jersey area. So I was very confident in all the doctors, my surgeon and everything. And I stressed this in my first video, but I highly recommend you guys do your research and get second opinions if you have to go through any procedures, because some hospitals and some doctors just, I don't know, I almost feel like they don't think it all through sometimes, or maybe they just don't communicate it well. But you have to be comfortable with your doctors, with your surgeon, especially if you're going under the knife. So I can't stress that enough, because I'm so glad that I went with my surgeon, and I'm so happy with Penn Medicine and my process and everything, and how they've treated me. So I went to Penn Medicine, my boyfriend and I. We arrived at Penn Medicine at 6 a.m. I had to get there at 6 a.m. because I believe my surgery was scheduled for 7:30 in the morning. So we got there, and I was to a point where I wanted to get it over with. I was tired of waiting, and I just wanted to get the mass out of me, have them figure out what it is. And also, in case you guys are curious, I haven't got the pathology results yet. So once I get those results in, if you guys want to know my results, I can let you know. But right now, I don't have the results of from pathology. So, and that is, if you guys are not familiar with medical terms, I'm not a medical specialist in any way or any capacity, but it's basically when they send things off to get tested for cancer. So I do not have my results yet, but again, if you guys are curious, I can do that video when I get results. So I should be getting them actually very soon. So once I got there, they quickly checked me in. It was a very smooth process. And then they took me back to the room where you kind of get undressed, you get in the gown. They talk you through everything. You meet a bunch of doctors, and I couldn't tell you how many doctors I met. Obviously, like the anesthesia team, like the general team, just like a lot of them were, not a lot of them, but there was a bunch of like students as well, because it's a teaching hospital, which I actually prefer, because, you know, a lot of those teaching hospitals have really good reputations. That's why they teach. It was actually kind of cool to see like the attendings walk these like medical students through the process and things like that. So everyone was really, really nice. I was pretty calm. I didn't feel anxious. Again, I was to a point where I just wanted to like get it over with. And they ask you tons of questions. They go through everything. And if you guys are wondering, before going into surgery, they ask you probably 3 or 4 times, like different doctors will ask you, like, what are you getting done today? And I have looked at my surgery appointment so many times on the app where I just kind of like spit everything out. And there were so many moments where the doctors were like, are you in the medical field? And I'm like, no, I just really know what's going on today and what is going to be possibly happening to my body. I was going into surgery. This is basically what I told them, because I was asked so many times, what are you getting done today? So I was getting done a removal of a mass. I believe that was called an adnexal mass, but a removal of a mass, a hysterectomy, a possible rectal colectomy, a possible stent, a possible nephrectomy of the right kidney, which is removal of the right kidney, and then a possible, did I say stent? Yeah. So as you guys can tell, there was a lot of possibilities of what my surgery could have turned out to be, and the doctors have to tell you all the possibilities, which is why it was so hard to process. And that's why I was so emotional in my first video, because you're going into something and you don't know what you're gonna wake up to. And that was a scary part for me, because there was like 3 other big possibilities of other surgeries. So that was my mindset going into the surgery. And that was pretty much on like the chart of what was going to happen / possibly going to happen. All of those things I just listed. I say goodbye to my boyfriend, we kiss, we hug, we do all that. And then the anesthesia team like rolls me to the OR room, and you know, I walk into the OR room and I tell you guys, I like to joke around, especially when it's kind of like a serious moment, because it just helps me get through that moment, is to like joke around and tell jokes. So I walk into the operating room. Did I say emergency room? I walk into the operating room and I'm like, wow, this looks exactly like Grey's Anatomy. And I was obsessed with Grey's Anatomy throughout college and all of that, like over the years. And it truly was like amazing to see, because again, this was my first ever surgery of any type, first time being under, first everything. I've never broken a bone, knock on wood. And then I've also, you know, just have never been through like the hospital process, and I've never been to the hospital for anything for myself. So it was all so new to me. Sorry, my dog hears the other dog and they're barking and growling. So I'm in the operating room making jokes. They're like, can you climb up on the table? And I'm 5'1", I'm very short. So I had to like slightly jump up on the table. Not comfortable at all. You're on like a foam like mattress type thing, and it's metal basically, because they're operating. Obviously it can't be like, you know, feathers and fluffiness. And then I like laid down. They make small talk with me. They're trying to like, you know, just distract me from them hooking everything up to me, like all like the wires and the IVs and everything like that. And then it happened really fast. The anesthesia attending, you know, put the mask on me, or he had the medical student put the mask on me, and I was out really quick. They didn't make me count down or anything. I do remember like choking on the gas, because the anesthesia is very strong for a surgery like this, and it was so strong where I remember like choking once, like trying to cough because the mask is on me from the gas, and then I was out. So the last thing I remember is like choking on the gas, which is not a pleasant thing to remember, but I was out. And it was a very, very long surgery. I didn't even think it was going to be as long as it was, but the scheduled surgery, like on my app and what they had told me prior, was 4 hours, and it ended up being over 7 hours that I was under in surgery, which is a very, very long time. It's a very extensive surgery, and when they got in there, it was just a lot more than they expected. So it took a lot of time. Also, I forgot to mention that going into this surgery, that my surgeon was also unsure if he could do this laparoscopically or robotically, is what the term he uses, which is a big robot called the Da Vinci. And I googled it. It looks really cool. So if you want to Google it, the Da Vinci 6. Actually, I'll put a picture here. Also, I probably already flashed a picture of my scan. I didn't share my scan with you guys in the first video because I was full of emotions and I just didn't know if I wanted to share it. But I probably already flashed the scan, but I'll put it here on the screen again of my scan of the mass that they had found and that was being removed. And because it was so large, it was attached to so many organs, which is why I had to get a hysterectomy and remove my uterus fully. So again, that's the reasoning of why they had to also do a hysterectomy, because the mass was just so big and it was pretty much attached to my uterus. And to get everything out and to clear everything out completely, like all the endometriosis and stuff, which is what the mass turned out to be. It was an endometrioma, like a very large one. And yeah, I had endometriosis for years apparently, and I had no idea. So there's that. All right, let's get back to the actual surgery. As I was saying before I went off a tangent, my surgeon was not able to guarantee that he would be able to do my surgery robotically. I wanted, my boyfriend, my family, he wanted to do it robotically, but he said that since my kidney was in question, because my right kidney is failing, and then the size of the mass, he was like, I might have to do an incision. And if you guys don't know, doing it an open surgery, like having an incision versus robotically, changes your recovery time completely. And it's a completely different process recovering to a robotic surgery, laparoscopic, versus an open incision, open surgery. So I was also fearful of that because I didn't know. I didn't know if I was gonna wake up with a big incision stitch or little tiny incisions for a robotic surgery. And it was hard to mentally prepare to like wake up to, because you didn't know what you were waking up to basically. So our hope was he could do it all robotically, but he said there's a huge chance that he would not be able to do it robotically and he would have to make a large incision. Before I tell you guys what the end result was and waking up from the surgery, I'm gonna tell you guys what my boyfriend told me he experienced while I was in surgery. So during my surgery, while I was under anesthesia, my boyfriend said he, 7.5 hours, he said it was extremely long. He said it was extremely stressful for him, obviously. And him and I had talked thoroughly through what I had wanted, because it's really important that you have someone to be your voice and stand up for you if, you know, others are telling you one thing, and just really advocating for the things that I want. And obviously if it's, you know, we're gonna go with whatever the doctor recommends and says, but he really knew what I wanted the end game to be. And he made sure that he relayed that to the doctors during my surgery. So he said that my urologist, which is the one that was doing the possible nephrectomy, which is the removal of the right kidney, the urologist came out, I believe my boyfriend said once or twice, just to update him on how I was doing, what was going on, what he was seeing, if he had to remove my kidney, and then the uterer, is that like the tube that comes out of the kidney? And so he came out once or twice, and then my actual main surgeon, which he was a gynecological oncologist, because again, we don't know if this mass is malignant or benign. So he was an oncologist, and he was like the best of the best at Penn Medicine. If any of you guys are local to Philadelphia and you're looking for a gynecological oncologist, message me on Instagram. I will give you his name. He was amazing, but just message me because I know it's a personal thing. So my main surgeon, he came out and twice, and he was talking my boyfriend through certain things. And, you know, at one point he was like, there's a lot that he has to still do to clean everything out. But he was just updating him with what had happened. He said that the mass removed really nicely from certain organs, so it didn't have too much damage. And then he explained to him what did have damage and what the urologist would have to go in and do, this and that. So honestly, it was really great to know that my boyfriend was being updated pretty much every few hours from the surgeons themselves, which is amazing. And then after 7.5-ish hours, I was done surgery and I was back in the room, back in a room. I don't remember what room it was, but my boyfriend was there when I woke up, and he said I did great. He did say I was under for a very long time, and I was really loopy. I was in and out because I was just waking up and getting all, like, you know, I was under anesthesia, so I was still trying to wake up. And I do remember my urologist being there talking to my boyfriend when I was like slightly like waking up. I was just out of it. And of course, right when I wake up, the first thing I ask my boyfriend is like, what happened? Because I really wanted to know what they did, what they didn't do, because again, there were so many possibilities. And first thing he told me was he was able to do it all robotically. So I was like, oh, thank God. And then the next thing he told me was that they removed the mass, they removed all the endometriosis that they could, which was pretty much all of it. But if you guys are familiar, endometriosis is something that can grow back, unfortunately. So I have to be, you know, monitored and like go get checkups often. But they removed the mass, they did the hysterectomy, so they removed my uterus, they removed one fallopian tube, and they also removed an ovary. And I knew that was going to happen. My biggest thing and my biggest hope was that my gynecological oncologist would be able to save one ovary. I knew one had to come out because it was just, the mass was like pretty much against like the uterus, the ovary, like it was so big. So I knew that one had to come out, but I didn't want to put my body through menopause at 34. So, and neither did my surgeon. My surgeon was very adamant on like, there's no need to put a healthy 34-year-old woman through menopause if he didn't have to. So he saved one of my ovaries, which I'm so grateful about. And then the big question after that was what happened with my kidney. So again, if you guys did not watch the first video, go watch that. But my right kidney is failing, and there was, I don't know, there was lots of conversations on removing my right kidney during this surgery versus doing it another time. And let me preface this with saying that my preference was to not remove my kidney during this surgery. Now, I think most people, and at first I thought, you know what, let's just do it all at the same time. Like, why not? But because there were so many unknowns, whether it was going to be robotic or open or anything like that, if it was an open surgery, they'd have to cut me even more, to open me up even more, to get to my kidney and like all these other things. So it would have been such a worse recovery. And I'm also gonna say, I had no idea my kidney was failing until they told me. I had no symptoms, it never bothered me, it never affected me. My other kidney was so healthy that it just started working and doing the job for my whole body versus having two kidneys. So even my urologist was kind of shocked. He was like, look, it is amazing that you've had no symptoms. It's not affecting you at all. It's not bothering you at all. And my urologist told me, he was like, it doesn't need to come out, especially because your body is going through so much trauma already with the hysterectomy, with the removal of this mass and a possible rectal colectomy. Like he even said, he was like it's not bothering you. I don't have to take it out right now. And ultimately my decision, what I wanted was to keep the kidney in. That way they didn't have to make more incisions. That way my body didn't have to go through more trauma. And at the end of the day, I believe my gynecological oncologist, I believe he wanted to have my kidney out, but my urologist, which I believe he would make the final call. My urologist said it's not necessary, and a big factor in his decision to not do a nephrectomy on my right kidney was because I was under anesthesia already for 7.5 hours. He said that if he were to decide to take out my kidney, that would have been another hour, hour and a half, 2 hours under anesthesia. And he said that that would have been more risk. It would have been more risk because my body's already taking trauma in my pelvic area, and then to take trauma in like the kidney area would also be like higher risk. So when he did the risks and like weighed them all out, talked to my boyfriend about what I had wanted as well, he was like, we're not gonna do the nephrectomy today. So I still have both kidneys. Only one is functioning correctly, but it's functioning so well that it doesn't even come up on my blood tests and my blood work that I have a failing kidney. So my right one is basically not functioning. Now, since it's not affecting me, I'm okay for now, but down the line, I had to obviously go to more checkups, and if it were to somehow start bothering me, he said it would be a super easy, robotic, laparoscopic, 30-minute surgery maybe, 30 minutes to an hour. So I personally felt okay with that, and I felt good about that. And all in all, my surgery went exactly how I had hoped it would go. They did not have to do the rectal colectomy. They did not have to do a like permanent stent or anything. They obviously did not do the nephrectomy. So when I woke up and my boyfriend told me all this, oh my gosh, I was so relieved, you guys. I was so happy and so grateful for these amazing surgeons at Penn Medicine, and for my boyfriend for being my voice and for supporting me and taking care of me. Oh my gosh, I was just so excited. When I woke up, I had to do one night at the hospital, and that was it. I got to go home the next day, which was also amazing. If you get an open incision, like a open surgery, you have to be in the hospital for like 3 to 4 days. So since mine was robotic, I was only there for one night, and the night went really well. I had a few like hot flashes. I was on a lot of pain meds pretty much. But the one thing that I hoped or wished someone would have prepped me for or given me a heads up was I woke up with a catheter. And maybe it was because I was under for so long, but I had no idea I was gonna wake up with a catheter. And if you guys don't know what that is, it's like this little tube that's in your pee hole that like helps you like remove the pee and waste, because your body is like under stress and trauma and you're in a surgery, so you can't like pee on your own. Oh my God, that catheter was probably the most painful, uncomfortable part of waking up from like a major surgery. It wasn't even the surgery itself, like the hysterectomy, fine. The removal of like this large mass, whatever. That catheter, so uncomfortable and painful. Oh, my little buddy. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad because he has to have this harness on and he has to have the donut. Guys, I don't want to talk about it. Like, he's going through it just as I am. But yeah, the catheter and the removal of the catheter that next morning, oh my gosh, they had to remove it at like 5 a.m. It was not nice. It was painful, but I did really well throughout the surgery and throughout that one night there. So I got to go home the next day, and yeah, now I have been home for 2 weeks recovering, and I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. And if you guys again want a story time about my recovery the past 2 weeks, by then I'll probably do like a 3-week update, and then I can talk about my recovery process and like what I did and everything like that, because there was a few ups and downs. No, just one that was a little bit like, ugh, but I can tell you guys that story another time because this video is way too long already. But I am so grateful for all of you, for your well wishes. I think that truly also helped, and just everyone being supportive and loving. And I really appreciate you guys for being here and just being concerned for a stranger, because I know I am a stranger to pretty much all of you. So again, I want to thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you want more story times and stuff like that, and just updates with me. Leave any requests down below. Follow me on Instagram if you want to. I put like quick little random updates on my stories, so definitely check that out. My house is full of flowers, which I don't have any in this room because this is my office, but our bedroom, so many flowers, so fun. Also, I just realized like this camera's kind of crooked. Oh well, it's fine. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I appreciate the love, the support, and the well wishes, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.